Hello everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot and Astrology. I'm Denise, and this is going to be the weekly reading for a while. I'll do weeklies on, I'm calling him X45 because that's what I want him to be. But I promise, as always, to just let go of my personality and bias when I, shuffle and draw the cards, because I really just want to get to the truth, as usual. But man, timing really is a problem, isn't it? We always want it sooner. So anyway, it's for this week, September 11th through the 17th. So let me bring the camera down overhead and get this going. Hold on. Okay, so once I dropped the camera down, I realized that this is way too complicated situations that are happening right now with him. So I decided to just focus in on one thing for this week, and it's going to be the, of course, the special masters that have been, well, they haven't been appointed yet, but how is this whole thing going to affect him? Like, is it going to go to SCOTUS, right? Like, what's going to happen in the future with this whole thing? So I decided to do, using the Lenormand, and do a grand tableau. So bear with me while I focus in and draw the cards. And as you can see, each one of the squares here represents an area of a person's life. So that's going to give us extra information. And I'll try to go as quick as I can, but of course you'll be able to fast forward, and I'm not sure who'll make it first. If Hilda's able to get this, our dear Hilda Flores, if she's able to get this time stamped for us. So anyway, let me get situated here, focus in, and I'm probably going to have to talk more loudly than I usually do because the camera is literally, I think it's about a foot or so above my head. I had to put it up really far. So anyway, here we go. Donald John Trump. How are you going to be affected? What will be the outcome for you? Based on the fact that you have instigated a complete new problem by suing for these, to have a special master. Well, thing is you're going to get more than one, I think. Or maybe you won't get them at all. Then again, by law, I think he has to. But there's all kinds of other things that can get him. Like, we have to remember, Truth Social is tanking. He lost his lawsuit against, it was a $24 million lawsuit against Hillary, Comey, Adam Schiff, the DNC, and a bunch of other people. This was on Alex Wagner last night on MSNBC, the gal that took over. I just love her. The one that took over for Rachel Maddow. It's like I couldn't think of her name for a second. But anyway, so there's that. He basically lost this lawsuit that was like the Trump-Russia scandal, or I'm sorry, conspiracy. There was no conspiracy. And he lost it because he didn't have any factual evidence. But he'll probably appeal that too. He's just going to be suing and appealing until the day he dies, I think. And then a federal appeals court, I think it was a federal appeals court, that ruled that he has to turn over his tax returns to the House Ways and Means Committee. So that's not going to be good for him. And then, of course, there's the federal grand jury that's investigating the January 6th attack. And because they're looking into his like Save America pack where he, basically took their money and it's not going anywhere. He's holding on to it. And then, of course, Bannon. Bannon's been charged with money laundering and fraud. So, look forward to that trial. Which should bring out a lot. But those are all separate instances. This is going to focus in on this espionage, theft, special masters. How's this going to go for him? Okay. Let me draw the cards. I'll get them laid out. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't need to count. I just have to draw them all. This one right here. How is this going to go for you, Mr. Flump? Well, it's a good time to be an attorney, isn't it? Or a judge. Unless you're Aileen Cannon. I don't think it's going to go well for her. I forgot to set the intention, so the man for sure would be him. Let's let, rather than, because we already know about he and Melania, if the woman comes through, I'm going to break a rule and call her Aileen Cannon. Because this is only on that case. Okay. So, with the mountain, we have an obstacle. Clover landed in the house of clover. Fish, house of ship. I'll just lay them out here so you guys can read. And there's no timing here. I'm not asking for timing with this. So this isn't like weeks. I'm just leaving. This is this entire situation as to the fact that he stole classified, top secret classified documents, and oh, now that's interesting, having that there. Okay, top secret classified documents that belong to the people. They don't belong to him, and who knows who he has shown them to? Who knows who has digital copies? Who knows what he's done with them? So the ship came through. He's here with the secrets, and the ship came through in his house. Yeah, there's no peace for him. Oh, and of course, his reputation is very, very cloudy. Okay, and then this is the gal. This is Aileen Cannon. She does hold some keys, doesn't she? His ability to get away is very troubling. Whoa. Okay. All right. So, with the Grand Tableau, the first thing you do is you read the first 3 or 4 cards because they open the reading. And you have to focus into the context of the question, right? Which is, how is this going to go for him? So, first steps here is that his movement will be blocked. His ability to go forward will be blocked. It's a major obstacle. With the clover coming behind it, I'm thinking that what will be blocked will be his opportunities to make money with the fish. And with the landing in the house of ship, this would be his entrepreneurial ability to make money is all blocked. Now, the house would be his assets, his safety, his security. And for now, he does, he has that. He has Secret Service detail on him, which I think is who the dog is coming through. There's going to be different layers, different levels of, being able to read this. So next thing I'm going to do is go the four corners because they frame in, the question. So down here first with the ship, this is his movement, and it landed in the house of man, so this is his movement, literally. I mean, it's doubly enforced here. His ability to move, his ability to exchange with other people, especially overseas, his ability to be free is now extremely blocked. This is, it takes a long time to get up to the top of a mountain and get over it, or traverse back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes it's just an absolute obstacle that you don't get beyond. So his freedom is blocked, and he's in a very dangerous position with the scythe over here, because there's going to be some surprise, because it's in the house of bouquet, some surprising decision. And look at the card's framing. The Tower card is not the same as the Tower in the tarot. This is a government. This is an institution. This reading multi-layers here, I'm feeling like this, besides being the DOJ, this could be the FBI, this could be, but then again, I feel like the dog is more the FBI. The man is only him. I didn't assign a card for Merrick Garland because we know Merrick Garland is all over the situation, so we don't need, to assign a person there. And then what's her name? Aileen Cannon. She's down. Whomever, if there are people cards at the bottom, they have all of this weighing down on them. She's not in a good position at all. Okay, so again, his freedom and movement is blocked. He's in a dangerous position when it comes to his money, power, endurance, stomach problems, all of that. In the house of cross, for this card to come through in the house of cross, and cross is right here, we can see he's guilty. I think he'll be found guilty. I think that he's burdened. The cross card is all about very, very, very painful burdens that you can't get out from under until you take self-responsibility, and we know that he's not going to do that. It's like Bannon going, I'm not going to stop talking until the day I die. Well, Trump won't stop lying and cheating until the day he dies. That's just the way it goes. So, okay, now I'm going to read the added cards. I'm going to kind of book in the three cards, or the two cards around the corner cards, and get a little more information. So, his movement and freedom is very complicated now, and it's been complicated by her, the woman, because it's in the woman house, right? Or the woman, yeah. So she's created complications. I think I should kind of just tell you the message I'm getting here rather than try and teach here, because if you're one of my members at the lessons level, you already have gotten all of this. I think probably most people just want the information. So his movement and freedom are complicated, and he has betrayal coming in. She hasn't done him any favors because she's a moron. And his movement is minimized by the government because it's in the House of Tower. His fraud is being examined by the institution of the DOJ. Mind you, they already had all of the documents ahead of time. They were lining up, we believe that they were lining up, people for depositions and, to bring them in and ask questions. And now all of that has to have stopped. But remember, yes, the investigation has been stopped, and that's further reiterated here by the dangerous loyalties that he has, and those are obstacles as well. So she's a dangerous loyalty. But how this is going to go for him, it's dangerous for him, because this whole spread is about him, right? It's not about Merrick Garland. It's not about the effect on the government or us, or this is only him. Okay. So, major obstacles because of the risk that he has taken that are continually flowing towards him. And it's all about his reputation, his abuse. So he has, by his decision to get Aileen Cannon to, ask for the special masters. He has blocked his loyalty, he has risked his reputation, and he has abused his own reputation. As far as timing goes, it could be about a month or so, or it might go a little more quickly actually. Anyhow, let me keep going over here. Then framing in this corner, there's a decision that's going to come through that will end maybe his, let's see, how it's going to affect him. It's a painful ending for his vitality. It's a painful ending for his, on one level, it's going to just show so much, reveal so much around him and his just overblown ego. And then with the coffin, I don't think he's going to do well. When it comes to health, this isn't good at all. This is dangerous for his health. Now, he thought he had nothing else he could do, mind you, right? Okay, so let's see, where's the coffin? What house is the coffin in? It's down here in Lily's, in the Lily house. So this is complicating his ability to think clearly in the advanced age that he is, and we do know that he's demented already. We've known that for a long time. And then where is the tree card, which indicates his health? Well, it's right here, and it's in the house of mice, which tells me his health is in a toxic situation right now. And I'm going to go ahead and do this 9 box around this card because this is all about his health. So tremendous mental stress in the house of path tells me that it's going, his mind is constantly going in 3 or 4 different directions. And I think he might be having immune system problems here. There's a minimization of his safety and security. Now here we have the Lilies card, which is our old age card, and this line down here tells me that his elderly age. And then again, the bear in the house of bear here, we've got this kind of cross-talking here telling me that his stomach is bothering him, and he's very toxic. And mice is over here in the tower card in the house of tower telling me that he also feels alone and isolated. Wow, probably having back problems, spinal problems. And he's hiding a lot. There are secret problems, secret health issues with his going on with his heart and his mind, of course, we know that. Notice how the clouds card, which is our dementia card, dementia and Alzheimer's card, knights up here to the lilies. So elderly, dementia, elderly. And it just circles around and around and around. His mind is just spinning. But he does have, now mind you, because he does have Secret Service detail on him, that's tricky, because it's in the House of Fox. That's tricky for him. Some of them are on his side and in alliance with him, and others are like, oh man, this guy. And that's because of these cards here. So stressful, mental secrets. These two cards are knighting together. And she's in on it. She's helping him, and she's in on it. But all of this around here, let's look at all of this that's down on her quickly. I don't want to go too long in it. The system, all the branches of the government, the law, is going to bring in something new that she's probably not going to like experiencing. And notice, now this is interesting, it's a little divergence here, but Trump's card is here. Actually, I should pay more attention to it. Maybe I can do the whole thing all together because they're pretty close together. They're knighting together. He's in control of her. Of course, she's giving it up to him because she's an idiot. And his mental health problems are hanging over him. And all of this is weighing down on him. All of these cards here. So his health issues, his heart issues that are changing and fluctuating. His ability to move. What movement he can make is very complicated because the rider's in the house of snake. Yeah, so changes in his heart. The government, the DOJ, all the institutions, FBI, ODNI, NSA, all of our government institutions are weighing down on him. The light is shining on what he really cares about, which is only him. There's going to be a release and some freedom of documents that come out that are going to be very, very heavy, a big, heavy, heavy burden for him to bear. And I'm not saying that just because this is bear. I mean, I'm talking about the weight bearing down on him. Now, bears are heavy, too. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think a lot of new alliances that are going to be very tricky. A lot of trickiness, a lot of problems, a lot that is wrong. An abundance of laws that are, that he's violating. And then back to her, of course, she's fraudulent. She's acting on his behalf, and she's looking towards being found guilty. I don't know if she'll be removed somehow. It's possible because, the scythe is up here. She would have to be impeached because, these are lifetime positions. Boy, man, we need to change so many new laws, right? Or we need to create so many new laws. We need to change old laws. We need term limits on these judges. But she can be impeached. But that's a whole other thing. This is on, this is all about him. So he cares, he really cares about the secrets. That might have been why he took so many documents. Maybe what he took has incriminating evidence against him. That's what I'm feeling here. Because, yeah. Okay, so documents here in the mountain, in the House of Mountain. So he's, let me look at this real quick. So there's the documents that he stole have already been distributed. This is the proof here, and I think I got this last week, right? That he absolutely, I know for sure in live streams I've gotten it. Lisa and I read we read extensively on this situation, so you could go back and that's a 2-hour, 45-minute video. We went into it, and it's timestamped though, so you can look at that if you want. So anyway, he stole, this is the government that knows that he stole the documents, of course, but he has distributed them out into the public. That's what the garden card is about here. And now he's facing a huge obstacle, of course, because he did that. And it's further reiterated that things went out on the internet here to whomever he wanted a good reputation with. Oh boy. Yeah, to the people he's loyal to. In the House of Woman, it could even be anybody he wanted to receive the information so that it behooved him. He did it online. This would be my card for all of the connections, the worldwide, or not world, well, yeah, it is, transnational crime syndicate of money laundering and fraud. Right here. And it's not good to have an anchor up above your head, is it? And in the House of Health, he has something, there's some morbidity that he is not getting out of. This is awful. Any Lenormand readers out there are probably like, oh, she finally noticed that. Because here's the tree, which is all, his health, right? And the house is body and soul. Well, definitely there's something wrong, wrong with his body and soul, of course. He's very toxic. His health is very toxic. And the anchor is like, oh, you're not getting out from it. He's not getting out from under his health issues. And he's not getting out from his repetitive mental, just, his mind is racing. Wow. Of course it is. I'm sure he's not sleeping well. Then again, peace and harmony in the House of Bear. Oh, yeah, he's probably knocking himself out with drugs at night. That's what I'm thinking there. Because, to have mice, toxic things, and to have the tree in the House of Health. Tree in the House of Mice. Yeah. And look how it knights over to the coffin. And lilies is in the house. See the common denominator here and here. He's heavy with burden. His health is just trash. He's not getting out from under it. And his mind is going back to, like the 2-year-old. Maybe the baby that wasn't taken care of. Not that we need to feel sorry for him, because he's a born psychopath. He chose, I believe we choose our parents. He chose to incarnate into a family with a father who was already in bed with the mafia. And then, so Genevieve's family, and then Then it turned into the Russian mafia. Russian came in and took over everything. And then he's in bed with the Russian mafia, and he has been all his life. And if you don't believe that, read Craig Unger's books. House of Trump, House of Putin. Read a bunch of other books where people have done painstaking research, and it's provided in great detail. It's not just me saying it. Okay. Let's see. So, so mountain, there's a mountain of evidence that's going to keep coming down on him. And he's going to be losing, I think, support, losing loyalties. Loyalties are going to be cut off from him because of the mountain of evidence that's going to be coming out in the public sphere. And garden, oh yeah. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of alternate information documents that we didn't even think of. This could be also video recordings. I think I got before that there were like hard drives, thumb drives, hard drives, which could also be reiterated here. When I get the coffin card, sometimes it's like a box, it's a hard device. I've done so many readings with clients, and it turns out like this card is like a server, sometimes a cell phone, especially when it's close to the birds. Oh, you know what this is? This is this, and look how these cards knight, right? 1 over and 2 up, or, So a mountain of evidence coming out because of Alex Jones's cell phone. Alex Jones is complicating things here. This is biting him in the butt. And the garden, right? So House of Garden, we've got alternate information, documents, communications of all types. In the House of Sun, revealing all the social darkness that happened. The garden card is social interactions, social media, but it's also how people get together. And it knights up here to the stars, so there's probably a web of information of all the connections. The foundation of connections, the social. And when it comes to so-called truth social, no, none of that. But this would be the garden card is our social media card. And then the sun being up here in the House of Coffin, painful revelations that come out that are very dangerous for him, because remember, this is all about him. Dangerous for him and his power and his money and his protection. The bear card, just always burn this in your brain if you're trying to learn Lenormand. This is the card of money, power, and protection. And I think he's losing that. Another message here is about the fact that he has Secret Service detail on him constantly. So he may think he can try and fly away or improve his situation with lawsuits, legal suits. And yeah, he does have his faithful, attorneys. But I don't think it's going to go well for him when he's down here and he has all this weighing on him, and his, these last cards down here, and this being like the answer card, money, power, and protection being under a huge burden. Now, this does speak to all his life, though, how he has felt that his money, power, like he's had faith in. Another meaning of the cross is what you have faith in. He's had faith in the fact that he could always buy his money, power, and protection. But this is a card of change. The Storks is all about changing. And on another connection here is that notice that the cross card is in the house of Anchor. Anchor, so major painful burdens of guilt that he's not getting out of. With the Anchor, he's not getting out of. This couldn't be any worse, right? This to have the cross card in this house, it can't get any worse. Because his goals, Anchor, goals are under burden. And then his goals depend on his health. And his health is destroyed, is toxic, is ruined. Mice is a card of ruin. So, how many times and how many readings have I gotten that it's going to be a health issue that takes him out before he may be arrested and put somewhere. He may be on house arrest. He may end up in, I'd love to see him in Guantanamo because he is a traitor. He needs to go down for treason. But I've always felt his health will take him out before, because it comes through in every single reading. He may at the end go up against like plead insanity or something like that, but I don't think he's going to get away with that, because to have the card of guilt in the house of Anchor, he's not getting away with it. It's too tricky, and there's a wealth of laws, I think, that are headed towards his direction. Okay, I'm double checking to see if there's anything else important that before I close this up. Otherwise, I feel pretty complete. You know, normally when you do this for somebody and you're looking at it, it's a fortune spread to look at their future, and you can do 9 weeks or 9 months, and then you're reading a period of time. But I did not. It always depends on what intention you put into the the cards when you're shuffling, and I was just wanting to see just about this situation, and like I said, I didn't add a time intention into it. So yeah. Now, if his card would have come up here up at the upper left, it would tell me that, he's got all this to look forward to and he's in control. But the fact that he came down here, I mean, the only thing that could have been better is if his card landed in the house across. But it's pretty close. I mean, it's in the house of Book, which is secrets, and then the laws, and then we have the institutions of our government right here above him. Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. Especially look at all the commonalities. I think I'll just say this one thing and then close it up. But all the commonalities around his health issue. To have the card of vitality and success in the house of Coffin tells me it's ending. Because what's ending is his vitality, health, success. To have the Anchor in the house of Tree is the worst place probably it could go. To have the health card in the house of Mice, terrible. And then to have the Coffin in the house of Lilies tells me that there's painful ending to his peaceful existence, which I don't know that he even ever really knows what a peaceful existence is, but yeah. His protection, his money, power, and protection is under the burden of change and our government and something very dangerous that will be surprising to him. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'll go ahead and just close this up. And I welcome your questions. I can always do some follow-up, reads using a different system with just like short little questions, using Kipper or Tarot or whatever. And yeah, that's it. Okay, you guys, take good care. Bye.